If you are new to my channel and have not heard me speak, this is going to be one eye-opening episode you will not want to miss. Don't skip over. You'll want to listen to it in its entirety. I know in researching this topic, my eyes were opened and it has caused me to shift so much of my thinking, my food selection, and what I'm about. Stay tuned. Like I said, your eyes will be open and it will change the way you look at what you are eating on a daily basis. What's on your plate? A while ago, I was shopping at a grocery store where I ran into one of my followers. She attended one of my cooking classes some 18 years ago and commented that one of her kids' favorite recipes was from that cooking class. And to this day, even her grandchildren are enjoying this dish. What a great compliment. She proceeded to ask me if I would speak on seed oils and why they are detrimental to our health. When I started researching the subject, I was expecting to talk about the balance of omega-3 to omega-6 to omega-9, which I think a lot of us are familiar with. However, my research took me down a totally different road. Let's start with the basics on fat. When I listen to others rant off about saturated, monounsaturated, or polyunsaturated fats, or EPA or DHA, I think to myself, are the listeners really grasping what they're saying? Great for the presenters. You understand the science, but let's bring it back to what is best for you, the consumer, to understand. Make the information practical, usable, and what's on your plate. We hear the term saturated, monounsaturated, or polyunsaturated fats. Do you really know what that means? And do you really care? You just know you are hungry and walking by a chip stand makes you want to buy them. Saturated, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated fats are the terms that we use to classify fats. As I go through this, think about what's in your kitchen that would identify in these categories. Typically, saturated fat is solid at room temperature, and when heated will become liquefied like butter or coconut oil. I say typically, and I'll explain that in a moment. Monounsaturated fats, meaning one carbon bond, are liquid at room temperature, like olive oil, avocado oil, peanut oil, and when you put them in the fridge, they will solidify. Polyunsaturated fats, which are a double bond, usually they stay in liquid form, whether in the fridge or in your cupboard. With these double bonds, it can become unstable, and you may know it as omega-3 or omega-6, and that's why when you open up your liquid fish oil, you store it in the fridge to keep it stable. Now, going back to saturated fats and why I said they can be typically solid, manufacturers have added hydrogen to a monounsaturated fat, which kind of makes the fat act like a saturated fat, solid at room temperature, and also to extend its shelf life, like margarine. Here's where the issue comes in. And again, I want you to think about what's in your fridge and what's in your kitchen cupboards. The issue with fats is how they are manufactured and then represented as an edible, cardiovascular, healthy, nutrient-dense food. Let's start with canola oil. I am Canadian, and canola oil was first breeded in the 1960s and 70s from the rapeseed. Dr. Balder Stevenson and Dr. Keith Downey altered the rapeseed to reduce the level of its uric acid and glucosinolates, toxic if we consumed it. Now, prior to this, rapeseed was used for industrial purposes like lubrication, especially in machinery like engines. The name canola is a combination of Canadian and ola, or oil, low acid. Here's another one, cottonseed oil. Same thing. The industrial age caused the use or manufacturing of this oil, which prior uses was for soap, candle making, and oil in lamps. Along comes electricity, which changed all that, and we called on chemists to figure out other uses of cottonseed oil. Hey, why not make it edible for human consumption? Now, I'm just giving you two examples of oils. I like to reference Dr. Catherine Shanahan, MD, who has studied biochemistry and genetics. She has coined the phrase, the hateful eight. Now, the best way to remember these fats, the hateful eight, is 3 C's, 3 S's, and then 2 more. Again, think about what's in your kitchen cupboards and your fridge. The hateful eight, 3 C's, canola, corn, cottonseed. 3 S's, safflower, soy, sunflower, and 2 more, rice bran and grapeseed oil. I go back to the manufacturing of these seeds and why they are detrimental to your well being. When I say seeds, also corn and soy are not necessarily a seed, but we use the word vegetable oil as well. Seed oil or vegetable oil can be interchangeable. However, olive oil is a vegetable oil which has many health benefits. When you start reading the labels, it is never really specific on what form the vegetable oil is being used. I go back to how they are manufactured and why seed oils or vegetable oils are harmful to our health. It's in the processing. I already mentioned the toxicity of the seeds. Now we are processing them to make them less rancid. Briefly, this is not extensive in the processing, but to give you an idea how it works. The raw material of seeds are put in an oven at 400 to 600 degrees to extract the oil. Then it is separated into a crude oil. Do you see crude oil as an ingredient in your pet's food? And the other part is a kind of cake consistency where it gets washed off with a solvent we call hexane. Hexane is primarily obtained from petroleum, and it is widely used as a solvent in various industrial and food processing applications. Because the hexane will leave the oil dark brown and a gunky consistency, it needs to be degummed, the oil that is, needs to be degummed, dewaxed, deodorized, and bleached to make it presentable on the store shelves or to be used in your everyday processed foods and restaurants. Think fryers. When we see these oils on the shelf in our supermarkets, they are stored in plastic transparent bottles. Once we open the bottle, rancidity begins because of oxygen, which then consumers can create oxidative stress in our body. Again, I go back to what's on your plate and what's in your cup. These hateful eight oils are found in so many foods that we consume on a daily basis. Store-bought breakfast cereals, granola bars, salad dressings. Salad dressings are made with soybean oil or vegetable oil. What is the source of that vegetable oil? Don't know. Sounds good. It comes from vegetables, right? Store-bought hummus, canola oil. Authentic hummus is made with olive oil. Ice cream treats, cream in your daily coffee. Health promoting protein shakes or shakes promoted to seniors. Corn oil, soy oil, condiments on your burger like mayonnaise. No meat substitute plant-based non-food food products. Now I'm noticing a bit of a trend that these no meat substitute plant-based non-food food products have avocado oil in it, but you really have to search it out. How about your alternative milk beverages made with almond or cashews? The issue is the accumulation of these fats in our daily food consumption: breakfast, lunch, snacks, beverages, and dinner. Think about it: accumulation. You are going out to dinner with friends, and sometimes it's hard to maneuver what to eat that doesn't have these refined, overprocessed oils. You do the best you can. It's the accumulation over the day, the week, the month, the years. Think about the kids. They are growing up on all this industrial food. Choices like chicken nuggets, canned pasta meals. Again, think about it. Fat is a macronutrient. It's part of the big three. It's essential to our diets: protein, carbs, and fats. We need fats. 30% of our diet comes from fat. What form of fat are we ingesting? In my world, as a nutritionist, we speak a lot about avoiding processed, refined carbohydrates. But what about fat? It's processed, refined, deodorized, and bleached, and laced in all kinds of foods we are consuming on a daily basis that we have no idea we are consuming. Now, in my early years, before a lot of this industrial food manufacturing, my mom would keep leftover fat in the fridge. There was no concern for additives or nitrates in that fat. She would cook and fry with this fat. Then came along Crisco, a less saturated fat than butter. We were told it's better for you and for your heart. Why not look at your plate? Women are asking me how to lose belly fat. We are seeing on social media all these influencers recommending ways on losing that extra weight around the belly. If you are serious about losing your belly fat, it takes a lot of work and dedication. Are you ready to put in the work? Let me explain. When I mention seed oils or vegetable oils to these ladies that want to lose their belly fat, the comment comes back to me: "Oh, I don't eat seed oils, only olive oil or coconut oil." Listen, that's great. But take a moment, as I said, look around your kitchen cupboards, look in your fridge. You might be surprised where you will find these refined toxic oils in your food. When these toxins are ingested, they like to hang out in your fat cells. I get more into this in episode 2, Loving Your Liver to Keep Your Brain Happy. It's giving your liver a long weekend and a chance to clear out some of those toxins. Looking after your liver can be a place to start if you are trying to lose weight and that stubborn belly fat. When cells are inflamed, cells are not doing what they're supposed to do, perhaps to oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress? It's when cells are damaged by free radicals. What does free radical mean? We like to throw these terms around without really knowing what they mean and how it affects our well-being. Well, free radicals are when cells are unstable. What causes a cellular instability or damage? Diet of processed foods, environment, stress. Stress can also be overexercising, inflammation, alcohol. Are you struggling with low energy, foggy thinking, irritability, can't lose weight, metabolic insufficiencies? Not enough antioxidants. What are antioxidants? Now, there's a balance between free radicals and antioxidants. Vitamin C is a great antioxidant. It's water soluble, so it doesn't stay in the body very long. Needs to be consumed every day. Vitamin E is another great nutrient. Fat soluble, can be found in raw nuts and healthy seeds. Again, daily requirement. And as I said, there's a fine balance between free radicals and antioxidants. So try to get more of those antioxidants in your daily diet and less free radical, less damage to those cells. But it really takes a long time to start that metabolic process. Interesting fact though, when the body or cells are too inflamed, you have to really work hard on the antioxidant side. As I said, sometimes exercise can be oxidative stress in the body if you are inflamed. And here's what we do after a workout. We might drink a protein shake with our nut beverage that has that toxic oil or something to that effect. So I mentioned the Hateful Eight: canola, corn, cottonseed, safflower, soy, sunflower, and the two others, rice bran and grapeseed oil. I mentioned the manufacturing and processing of these oils and how you can find them in every manufactured food item. Now, here's the beautiful thing. There is a big uptake for beef tallow, which is basically what my mom used to keep in the fridge, leftover fat. I'm so happy to see the interest in beef tallow. We need to get back to basics. We need to spend more time in our kitchen and less time watching what influencers are telling us what to eat. I know it's easier said than done. When it comes to food, though, we should be using all of our five senses. Sight, so we need to see our food. Hear, listen to it chopping or cooking. Smell that fresh smell when you're cooking it. Funny, I walk into Denninger's, it's a specialty grocery store and deli where I live, and they are cooking up onions, and it smells so nice. One of the employees said to me, if you could put that smell in a candle, because have you ever sauteed onions and garlic, like in olive oil or coconut oil? The smell is wonderful. Of course, taste. My kids grew up with whole food, and my daughter commented to me one time. She was eating at her friend's, and they had the box mac and cheese, and my daughter commented that it tastes like the cardboard that it was in. So teach your children, your grandchildren, about taste, and they'll acquire a taste for whole food. And definitely, we need to touch our food, cutting, preparing. I can't stress this enough. Use your five senses when it comes to food. So, the fats you'll find in my kitchen: coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil in a dark bottle, and butter. I'm still experimenting with beef tallow, so stay tuned for that one. Eggs are a complete food with all the macronutrients in place: proteins, carbs, and fats. They are great after a workout. Plus, it has choline, great for brain health. Raw nuts and seeds. I've taken to have 5 or 6 almonds a day with 3 Brazil nuts as a snack. And it's quite filling and it's true fat. Let your dollars do the talking. Stop purchasing packaged foods laced with these carcinogenic oils. Start playing in your kitchen. Get the family involved. And I know it, like I said, it's easier for me to say than not, but I'm a big one pot cooker and I will put everything into one pot, and that can be my lunch the next day or dinner the next day. And that's easy for us. But you know your situation, or a slow cooker, invest in one of those as well and make it easy for yourself to have that whole food experience. And watch the additives. Like I said, what are you putting in your salad, the salad dressings, or what are you putting on burgers? So, yeah, really be mindful of where your oil is coming from. So, 30% of our diet needs to be fat, but good fat, the right fat. Now, I didn't really talk about avocados or avocado oil, but you can do the research on that. I just want to make it practical for you and to just open up your eyes, like my eyes were open, to where are these rancid fats in our industrial food manufacturing. As I mentioned, in this episode, my eyes were opened in doing the research. Not that I didn't know this before about vegetable oils or seed oils, canola, cottonseed oil, but it just really solidified why I keep doing what I do to help you navigate your health and well being with whole foods. Forget about what social media is telling you. Take a moment to listen to your own body. Your body gives you data. What do you need to help you feel great again? The right fats are so important for energy, brain health, glowing skin, muscles. As I said, check out your cupboards, check out your fridge. Where are those hidden fats in your food? As a small gesture that goes a long way, take a moment to hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave a comment, or share this episode with a friend. Every time you interact with this channel, you are helping it to grow, and it lets me know the content I'm sharing is important to you. Plus, I greatly appreciate it.